Okay, what do you think of police brutality and how should it be managed? Ray, tuanze na wewe.
So actually, police brutality sidhani itawahi change juu tumekuwa tukiongea sana juu as in the police get away with almost everything, as in ni kama imekuwa part of our lives. Ni kitu imefanyika sana ni ile sasa, but sir, you see now, like let's say example, you are umeenda pahali, then you witness police brutality. There's nothing you can do juu as in the police might shoot you. So as in, I don't think us as civilians, I don't think the government is doing anything. Kama mjama alishutiwa Kariobangi, as in no action has been taken, wanaachishwa tu kazi. Hiyo ndio vitu wamekuwa tu kuachishwa kazi, they've not been taken account for. As in new stuff in a go by there, and it's mostly happening to as in the less fortunate. Huwezi pata police brutality Muthaiga, huwezi pata Karen, unapata tu Dandora, hizo slums, and it's actually a beautiful thing to see, but ni kama imekuwa tu norm, imekuwa normal way of life, which is it's bothering. But sasa the government we are relying on hata itusaidii. That's my take.
What do you think we should do about it as Kenyans, as citizens rather?
As na citizens, hata mpost Twitter kila siku bado zitaendelea. As in, these are nothing, as in hizi ni vitu, I don't know, maybe voting, watu wa vote vizuri juu watu lipwa kuvoti na certain way. So I just think police.
Is there any politician who's really helping?
I don't know. Sijaona bado.
So bado tunaweza kuvotia.
Sasa labda sisi ndio kwa next this generation to break your trend juu sasa tumevotia karibu kila mtu lakini bado hakuna kitu imechange.
Okay. So how do you think the police should be dealt with?
As in personally, lakini acha tu niseme as in lawfully, as in just jail time too. Na kuachishwa kazi obviously, but then hiyo ita change kitu juu leo ni Nairobi, kesho ni Kisumu. I think it's something personal. Niseme personal conviction maybe. Na polisi pia walipo vizuri. I think that might be the main thing. Maybe walipo vizuri and frustration. They are frustrated, so they take it out on the citizens.
My take on police brutality, I really believe it will not be happening in this day and time. We're like so far from colonial days, and we shouldn't be experiencing the same things we experienced 50 years ago. I think the major problem we have is that I was listening to someone on the internet and say that the laws that still exist for the police are the laws which to put Africans down. So you see, nothing has changed. So the way they used to quell like the unrest of citizens back then is what they are still doing right now with them. And I think our leaders are the major problem, because I haven't even had one single leader come out, like condemn the police brutality. They're just silent. And even the president, when he came out, he was like, maybe, he was saying, maybe some things happen. He wasn't acknowledging like people were killed and stuff like that. He was just saying, maybe, and he was just not an apology. And I think we need to have better for the police because let's say you are a pilot or something. If ever you crashed, no one cares that maybe you had a bad day or something like that. It's your responsibility to fly and land the passenger as well. When you're police, you're allowed to get away with things that don't make sense. You kill a person, you can still just keep your job at 30. You're a bad, you had some things going on. You are a youth. You have erratic behavior. So I think, and also us as citizens, we need to speak up against it. You know, if we never speak about it, there will never be change. You know, it has to start somewhere. So we have to speak about it in every small way you can do it. Just speak up against it and try to raise awareness on this, because if you talk to the older generation, like they say, that's how police have been, because they've experienced this since they were kids. Nothing has ever changed since the colonial period. Police are brutal. It's been fed to them until it's actually a norm. So, and personally, I think we need to, I think maybe laws on, they should be updated and stuff like that. And police should face the same consequences you would face if you kill someone. You know, people are being shot in the street, a 13-year-old. It's only recently, because of the uproar, that the guy has been arrested and a case has been opened against him. So the little we can do right now is speak about it and just continue speaking about it until we really, something really big starts happening. We can't start with protests only. We need to speak up. Then maybe the next step will be protests and stuff like that to get change. That's my take.
Okay. Kalamas?
Police brutality in Kenya it's quite crazy, because these guys are killing as if it's a game, you know, as if they're not supposed to protect us. You know, the other day we had the story of Samuel Minor, of Vaite, you know, that 13-year-old boy. And honestly, I think the most we can do as a generation or as young people, we can continue creating awareness to those who don't know. And I think the more that it trends, the more it's on Twitter, the more it's circulating on WhatsApp or whatever, it will create a certain type of pressure to the government or to the one who's the one in charge of all these, you know, prosecutions or whatever, to do something about it. Like, I know the other day, Vice News aired out the brutality in Kenya. And I think it also aided in the prosecution of that officer who killed the 13-year-old boy. So I see you in our work. So I guess you can just continue creating awareness, giving them pressure. Then I saw an Instagram page today, yeah? It's Police Brutality KE. They gave a sort of solution, not per se a solution, but they gave a number, yeah, kina IPOA, that you can call, and they gave you a note to say, yeah, when you call them, so that you give them pressure. You continue calling, give them pressure, do something about it, you know, because you can't go protest anyway, just the way National said. You know, we are all scared of this corona, we don't want to get it. So when we also want to practice social distancing. So maybe, yeah, creating awareness and giving them pressure, maybe through calling, that is basically what we can do. Yeah, basically, yeah.
So my take on this is, I feel like us as Kenyans also have given the police power. You know, they feel they're supposed to, you know, the service for Kenyans or service for the citizens, but it looks like we're the ones serving them. And I feel like if we change, it changes, because we can't keep seeing police brutality, the beating people up, killing people, and then we're the same ones who bribe them, who give them money to escape from certain situations. I think change starts with us, because if you start showing them their positions, yeah, in this whole thing, they're here to serve us, not the other way around, then I think things can change. So we can't keep saying police this, police that, yet we're also giving them power in some sort of way. That it's not like I'm supporting them either way.
And of course, these guys, maybe they also have their own issues, you know. And
have the context of the IPOA. I'm going to post it after this topic for you guys. So next, Buckley.
So I'll start by a quote by Abraham Lincoln, which says, "If you want to test a man's character, give him power." Okay, so we're talking about police brutality, and I'll start by what others have said. Nation has said the leaders are the problem, and maybe something, what Uhuru said, maybe something happened. Let me just first clarify what Uhuru said. Maybe something happened. It's not the place of Uhuru to prosecute someone before an investigation is done. This is saying maybe something happened. It's the work of IPOA to investigate the police, for them to give a case to the prosecution, for the prosecution to prosecute that person. So it's for us as Kenyans to give IPOA the reports, and IPOA should have the mandate and willingness to investigate the police, because they say that they are an independent body, yet they are not doing the same. If something happens to you and it's a police officer who has done it, it's very rare, or it's very hard for a colleague to investigate another colleague, because they might find themselves in the same situation another time. That's why police don't investigate other policemen. So Lauren also said, Nation also said about updating the laws. I want to say that the laws are updated up to date. In fact, the police changed from a force to a service. That means it's serving the people, as Kate has said, and we if they are serving us, we should also change how we are supposed to do things. We should not give bribery, etc. Lauren said pressure from the public. It works a lot. It works a lot for them to prosecute other victims. It works a lot if we try to pressure from the public. So my take on this is, the way forward, I think it's to change the system of IPOA, how IPOA works, because IPOA has not been effective since 2010, when the new constitution came and it said that the laws should change. But IPOA has not been effective to see what the public sees, and what the public expects from them is to investigate and see the prosecution being carried out. For them to change, it also needs their leaders to change and their system of working. Also, salary matters, but you've seen even the European countries are given good salaries, but they still behave abnormally. Kwa sababu, how can they step on someone until they die? Salary increment is part-time solution, but it's not the real solution. The system and the character of the police has to change, and even their training has to change for them to know that they're serving the people, not the other way around, for them to be a force that they have power over us as civilians. Okay. That's my take.
Oh,
Thank you.
right on time.
Babu.
I mean, ongezewe time kwa sababu ya distance. Aya, so So I think all of you are relaying one message: the system is not right. So I think first of all, if you realize the police brutality haijaanza juzi. Okay, kwa sisi wenye tulikuwa UN, mimi, Kolon na Nation wenye tuko UN, like we've been there for almost 3+ years, and we've witnessed like just a small protest, and ni kama wako standby, wanaitwa tu, and then their work is not to settle us down, ni kutuchapa and stuff, you see. So I think it's the system. There's first the system, the governmental system, like it's corrupt. Let's start with that. Oh, sorry, msema system gani? Si system ya radio manze. So like I think the way things are being run is different, like corruption in a trickle down, and then illiteracy. If you realize when you go back to that system of how police are being chosen, like mtu hawezi kuchapa tu hivyo na kuwe mse alisoma. You cannot have gone to school and then you just like go and beat someone, unakanyaga mse hadi anadedi. Like I don't know, I don't get it's sad, but I don't understand how somebody can tell a Rottweiler to bite you till you have injuries. Because I was seeing a video where a Rottweiler in a umamse, it makes sense. So I think the system is corrupt. What Lauren said about we're giving these people bribes, and then bado tuna complain. You see, like we're giving them power. They shouldn't be a shift of power. It should be service, not being commanded. I think that's one thing. And then the awareness thing is also important, because it's pressure for sure. But I think there's one thing we lack in Kenyans is we are more of keyboard warriors than speaking out. Like if we're doing hashtags on Twitter, we can do 40 million hashtags, but if we're doing a peaceful protest, it'll be less than 1,000 people. You see, like people fear, and that's now the problem where the system comes in. Like tumezoeshwa in a way that hawezi approach polisi na hiyo si poa. Like polisi ni mtu unafaa ukimbilie in case something is wrong, but if they're doing something wrong and you can't approach them, I think there's something off with the system. So I think awareness will work, but we have to do something. Probably we have to do more. Trust you me. Even if the IPO is corrupt, we have to do more. Like we have to realize the power we have as people when we join together. If we realize the power we have together, then I think all will be well. And yeah, tuombe tu nchi yetu by the maombi na work. Yeah, so there's something of the sort. I'm done. Thank you.
Teresa?
What was the question?
What do you think of police brutality? How should it be dealt with?
Personally, I think they don't care about common wananchi, because how many people have been killed in Kenya? It's so many since Corona started. They don't even care if you have a place to stay. They don't even ask you all that, of which they're not supposed to be beating you. If it's that scenario where you broke the curfew, I think you should be arrested. See, that's what's supposed to happen. But I just think it's the power that we've given them. And if Kenyans we unite and handle the utamba uende, but you're scared, right? Tear gas, you don't want to go out there and get shot. So that's why people, I have no idea what we can do. Maybe just overcoming the power we gave them. And yeah.
Okay, Kolo.
For me, this thing, personally, my own opinion is it stems from integrity of the whole nation as a whole, from our topmost leader down to the lowest. person in the society level. For example, I guess for the police, the whole process of recruitment, all the way down to how they're trained, down to how they handle you when you get arrested or something. There's nothing integral in the whole process, and we can all attest to that. We've all had the stories of how they recruit people and everything. And you see, the problem with us as a nation is sisi ni wavumilivu sana na vile wamesema we are very fearful people. No one is ready to go out and call them out as they are. And pia tumezoea ni mazoea, tumezoea hii maisha ikiwa hivi, tumezoea kusikia mtu ameuliwa sijui wapi, nini ilifanyika wapi. And as Jerusa has put it, there's not much you can do about it. We feel a bit helpless, and that makes it worse. We feel kind of helpless, and because it doesn't affect most people, it just affects some people. And you see, most of the time, people who have a voice to speak out are not the ones who are affected. Mtu anaffectiwa ni vaite uko kwa streets. Maze, huyo ni mtu mwenye, if people don't speak up for him, there's not much you can do. So anaffectiwa ni speak up, and the guys who can speak up, the system favors them. Because you're the ones giving out bribes, you can always find your way out of, or read your way out of the system, out of the situation in case it finds you. So we also need to have unity as a nation, and there's no humanity really in our country. There's no humanity, because as long as it's not you or your relative who's been affected, you'll just push a hashtag. Push to hashtag on the social media, and there's nothing else you can do about it. Or rather, that's what you think. But if we were united, we just have to get to a point where we are tired. Like what happened in the US, they just got tired. Because, scenario after scenario, day after day, one person, each day is a different situation, a different person, and you get tired of it. And I don't know, it's going to be very hard to get out of this. No matter how much you talk about it, it's very hard, because if our leaders are still supporting this, the guys who you expect to defend us against this kind of situations are the guys who use the same police force against us. So it's a rock and a hard place. That's where we are. We're stuck in between, and there's not much we can do. I'd like to go with what Babu has said. The best you can do is pray. Yeah, we can try and go and protest and everything, but we still have a long way before we get there. Long way before we get there. Yeah. And time, something that we don't really have, as Sherry would like to put.
I've told you time is over. I'm not telling you.
Okay, I have a question for you. Yeah. The way you're saying, and Jerusalem, the way you're saying there's nothing much you can do. Do you think that how the Americans are peacefully protesting, are they slowly making change?
See, the difference
I guess.
Between us and them, the difference is this. We have the people who are rich, rather people who control the system. Then there's the middle class, which would have the majority. But you see, the people in the middle, people are very comfortable. We have guys who would rather go to party, rather go to C24. If you think about picking up a stone and go and throw it because Vaite was killed, like, you know what, if I go throw stones, it's not like he's going to come back to life. That's the mentality. It's not really affecting you. You don't really feel it to your core. You don't feel like it can never get to you. And once you have that sense of fear or concern that it might get to you someday, we are selfish people, if I'm afraid to say. That's what it is. So when I'm saying there's not much we can't do anything, what I mean is we are almost helpless, because the only way out of this.
For me, I think everyone has actually talked about everything, but I think the main issue is that we gave these police officers the authority to do this to us in some way through corruption. And I don't know how we'll correct this. Sorry, I don't know how we'll be able to correct this, but I think with time, I actually can't concentrate enough to say this, but I think most of the issues have been talked about. by everyone else since I'm the last one. So I don't know what else I can add on to that, but I feel like maybe our generation might be the one which will bring the necessary change that we need as a country, because sadly enough, the police are doing this to the minority, and hopefully we'll be able to come up with a solution for all of this going on in this time. That's my opinion.
I don't have to conclude for that. We've spoken so much about it. But yeah, I think police should get justice as equally as we do get justice. Like, if they murder someone, they should be charged for murder. If they assault someone, they should be arrested. Firing can't do it. Firing can't do it because they'll just be hired in another police station. So yeah, apart from that, I think everything has been said, and you can end that topic.